Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video because I wanted to talk about something a lot of adult children don't consider when they choose to go into stealth mode when it comes to parental alienation. And this comes from alienation from parents who have loved and raised their children and who did absolutely the best they could. I have to initially say, for me and for a lot of people, it was truly embarrassing to have our children. It was embarrassing when my children disconnected because everyone who was around us was used to seeing us together. We were always hanging out and doing things, and we were a family that had people over. We were actively involved with many people, and when my children chose to disconnect, I would continue to see those people, and they'd say, "Where are your kids?" And I'd say, "I don't know." And they'd say, "Well, what happened?" And I'd say, "You tell me." And initially, a lot of people live in guilt, shame. It is embarrassing. And I'll tell you, sometimes you get to a place where you slowly start to shut the door. Parents, I think a lot of children think, oh, parents always going to be around. And that's not the case, because we all will cease living one day and leave this earth and no longer be physically available or present for those we love. And I think a lot of these children who disconnect believe that parent will always have that door open for them. And some parents say, I could never shut the door on my kids. I could never, cease allowing them to come back, etc., etc. But what I'm noticing in the groups that I'm in and in my life, there comes a point in time when self-preservation kicks in. And for me, it's been over 10 years. And you think, what do I do if my kids come back? Where do you pick up from when you've missed out on and you've been, denied opportunities to be involved in their most poignant moments in life, but it has to do with weddings and education and having children and things like that, and maybe their children, have struggled, and you haven't been a part of any of that. It's self-preservation kicks in, and you slowly start to shut that door. And I don't think these adult children realize that the only way majority of us parents can survive is if we close the door and we start to clean house and we start to pack things up. A lot of parents are giving their things back to their children, the children who have left things behind, maybe medals and childhood memories, awards and things like that, and things they said they wanted to keep for their own children. A lot of parents now are getting the gall, the balls, the strength to pack those things up and to say, having these things laying around is very, very painful for me, knowing that these memories are lingering and we're not creating new memories. So if you are choosing to disconnect, you're going to have to come and get your things and keep them in your own home. I'm not a storage unit for you. I know of a woman who, her children had been disconnected for many years, and she finally sent them a letter and said, your things will be in storage, and had paid for storage for a year, and finally said, you have 30 days to come and get your things, and that's it. And basically, her children were shocked. I think a lot of kids are shocked when their parents say, this is it. This is what you've chosen. But in order for me to start my life over and create a new existence, I can no longer have this laying around. And more and more parents are getting the strength to say no and stand up for their right to happiness and sanity, and are finally saying no to the abuse and no to the disrespect and the disregard, because it is so painful when you have memories of your children and they're no longer. What do you do? So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about, is just know that your parent, the one you've disconnected from, they might not be around anymore, and they might not open that door when you knock, and they might not respond to text. You really have to think about that, because we are human beings, we can only take so much. So that's all I wanted to say, is one day your parents are not going to be here, and there won't be that chance to sit down and talk with them. I was reading Facebook memories from 12 years ago, and I remember posting a family. Yeah, I think one of my sisters wanted to sit down with us as a family and talk with my mom and air things out. And my oldest daughter said, "Mom, you should go and tell them how you feel. Go, or else you'll regret not saying it." And I'm just saying to my daughters, there is still a chance. If you call me, if you say, "Let's talk," if you say, "Let's meet for coffee, let's air things out, I would like to tell you how I feel," there's still an opportunity to do that. And we're still here. So let's have a family meeting. Let's sit down and talk. I don't even, if you don't want me to meet your children, that's your choice. But at least let's have some kind of a resolution, so that you don't have to hang on to things that you would like to talk with me about. Even if you were to write a letter, you can give it to my sister, and she'll get it to me. My sister, whose name starts with an S, she'll get me the letter. And maybe if you want her to be there, because she's always been, a very huge supporter of us, just let's do this. And that's all I wanted to say, is just think about it. Someday I'll be gone and you'll have my YouTube videos and you can save them, but let's do it. It's been 10 years. Still not too late. Just know that I love you and I miss you. And I would love the opportunity to make things right and to somehow be a part of your life, even if it's at an arm's length to begin with, just to build on something. We have things in common. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope this video helps someone. And really, kids, before you alienate and break free from your parents, just think about it. Bye-bye.